The book is now completed, but the story goes on. Catherine remains cursed without any recurrence of her original symptoms. I have been very careful about regressing other patients. I am guided by the patient's particular constellation of symptoms and by his or her refractoriness and other treatments. By the ability to be easily hypnotized by the patient's openness to this approach, and by an intuitive feeling on my part that this is the path to take. Since Catherine, I have done detailed regressions to multiple past lives in a dozen more patients. None of these patients were psychotic, hallucinating, or experiencing multiple personalities. All improved dramatically. The 12 patients have widely disparate backgrounds and personalities. A Jewish housewife from Miami Beach vividly remembered being raped by a group of Roman soldiers in Palestine shortly after the death of Jesus. She ran a 19th century brothel in New Orleans, lived in a monastery in France in the Middle Ages, and had a distressing Japanese lifetime. She is the only one of the patients other than Catherine who could transmit messages back from the in-between state. Her messages have been extremely psychic. She too knew facts and events from my past. She has even more of a facility for accurately predicting future events. Her messages come from a particular spirit, and I am currently in the process of carefully cataloging her sessions. I am still the scientist. All of her material must be scrutinized, evaluated, and validated. The others were not able to remember much beyond dying, leaving their bodies and floating into the bright light. None could transmit messages or thoughts back to me, but all had vivid memories of previous lifetimes. A brilliant stockbroker lived a pleasant but boring life in Victorian England. An artist was tortured during the Spanish Inquisition. A restaurant owner who could not drive over bridges or through tunnels remembered being buried alive in an ancient Near Eastern culture. A young physician recalled his trauma at sea when he was a Viking. A television executive was tormented 600 years ago in Florence. The list of patients goes on. These people remembered still other lifetimes as well. Symptoms resolved as the lifetime unfolded. Each now firmly believes that he or she has lived before and will again. The fear of death has diminished. It is not necessary that everyone has regression therapy or visits psychics or even mediates. Those with disabling or both bothersome symptoms may choose to do so. For the rest, keeping an open mind is the most important task. Realizing that life is more than eyes meet. Life goes beyond our five senses. Be receptive to new knowledge and to new experiences. Our task is to learn to become godlike through knowledge. I am no longer concerned with the effect this book may have on my career. The information that I have shared is far more important, and if heeded, will be far more beneficial to the world than anything I can do on an individual basis in my office. I hope that you will be helped by what you have read here, that your own fear of death has been diminished, and that the messages offered to you about the true meaning of life will free you to go about living yours to the fullest, seeking harmony and inner peace, and reaching out in love to your fellow humans. The end.